Hello students. Today we are going to discuss the conceptual problems based on the topic of alternating current. As we have discussed already a conceptual problem based on another topics of volume second. As in reverse order, I was just taking the conceptual problems questions. So that's why first in volume first I will take the alternating current chapter. After that I will uh, discuss all the chapters and its conceptual problems. So and with the along with conceptual problems I will also discuss some of the topics here for as for revisions for your examinations. So that's why guys, listen carefully and see the questions carefully what the question wants to you. In every conceptual problems, as you know that it needs only your basic knowledge, your fundamental knowledge about that topic, about that particular subject. So that's why here it's just to taste your basic knowledge. So be clear for that, be focused for that. So let's start it. So as in case of alternating current, you know that here we have studied about one particular type of current, that is alternating. We have two types of current like alternating and direct current. So in case of direct current, all the cycle means for all the cycles we can get the output wave, and it is simply flowing in the positive way. But in alternating current, one half of the cycle is positive and was other half is the negative. And in alternate way, like it is propagating in form of sine wave or cos waves. So in sine wave and cos wave forms, you have seen that half cycle of the sine wave, that is means for half time period it is positive and its displacement is positive, and for other half cycle its displacement is negative. So if you calculate the overall average value of current in this process, that will be zero, obviously. So this is the basic, I think, properties of alternating current. And also uh, here we have studied a number of circuits. Means how can we understand different circuits, and with using different elements, like if you use only resistor, if you use only capacitor, if you use only inductor, then what will be the case in that sense. So as you know that capacitor, that is used for the storage of charging, means here charging and discharging of charges, that can be possible easily. So that is, you know, you can say that this is storing devices for the charges. So here we can store charges, or we can charge it, we can discharge it, and we can means simply we can charge it by simply connecting it to some battery. And also it after removal of battery, it will start to discharge, and we can get that output uh, charges. Clear. Second thing is that we have inductor property. You have already studied about induction and inductor property. So inductor is used to store current, means here the in decay or growth of current, and with the help of that we can also obtain current in the output circuit, and we can use it. So such types of all things are possible using these. And again we have studied about the combination of these two elements, like if we combine R and L, if we combine R and C, if we combine L and C, so what will be the output voltage, what will be the output current in that case, and what will be the case of charging, discharging, and other things we have studied. And if we join all these three, uh, uh, LC and R, so we get LCR circuit, and in that case LCR circuit can also be joined in series and parallel. So you have studied that. Okay. So these are the basic things what have we studied. What is the power loss and power factor in all these cases, what is time constant, the basic phenomena that we have studied. Basically our concern was over the topic that how can we get charges or current through the alternating circuits. So that way we have studied. I think that is totally clear to you what is the case of here, and what we have to study. So one by one with the questions I will discuss all the things. So let's see the questions. First question is, I have just discussed it. What is the average value of AC over a cycle? Why? Just over a cycle, actually AC is propagating in such a manner. You know that it has, means for over a cycle, one is positive half and other is negative half. So that's why if you see the average value, then obviously average value will become 0. Clear? Due to its propagation in positive and negative half cycle. Second question is, the what is the significance of time constant of RL circuit? As I told you, we have studied a number of circuits. So suppose if in any circuit we are using an inductor L and connecting it with the resistance R, and suppose that here I have just connected a battery. It clear? So this is the simple circuit that for the AC circuit we can understand with the help of it easily. So in this case, if what is the time constant before telling about it, first let's see what is LR circuit. So LR circuit is simply this. In this circuit, if you connect it from any battery and supply some voltage from here, so obviously due to this application of supply, a current will flow through the inductor and resistor. So what will be the value of current? That can be given with the help of easily Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, and this can be given with the help of Ohm's law. So you can also derive an expression for the charging of the circuit, and that expression is obtained something like this is the expression what we have obtained. In this case, the value of tau, that is R by L. Okay. So here this is the case of the charging of growth of current in any LR circuit. Means with the help of inductor there can be a growth of current, the possibility of growth of current, and it is growing up to a certain limit, and that is called the saturation current in this process. So that saturation current is I0. This is the maximum possible current from this circuit, and here I am not discussing it in the very details, only just as a brief I am telling you about that so that you can remind it easily. So this is the problem, and here this tau is known as time constant of the circuit. So what is the significance of this particular time? Also actually you can obtain it for discharging of the circuit. So if you want to decay of current through this inductor, then in that case simply remove the battery from it. So now if you remove the battery from it, then circuit will this inductor that has the storage of current that is starting to decay, and that current can be used in various applications, and in that sense you will again get this value of tau. So this is the time constant. And what is the significance of time constant? Actually it shows us that in what time from any LR circuit charging and discharging is possible. So for particular LR circuit, time constant is fixed, means in that time we can get which amount of or which percentage of the growth or decay of current. So basically with the help of time constant we can easily say that in 1 second what will be the condition of, means from this circuit we can easily calculate it in 1 second what will be the value of growth or decay of current. But with the help of time constant we can easily say that in this time this this inductor will store the current to this value. Means suppose that if the time constant for any circuit that is something 60%, so it means that in a particular time tau it will store 60% of the uh, current in the circuit. And if the for the discharging it is suppose that 30%, so in case of discharging means it will charge in the same time 60%, but in the same time it will discharge only by 30%. So with the help of charging and discharging phenomena, with the help of this with the help of this time constant, we can easily know which LR circuit in the LR circuit, if uh, for charging its value is greater, then it means that actually for the fixed value of it, if charging is greater than that, growth is greater, then that type of LR circuit is best for us. For example, you can understand it. Suppose we are using our mobiles, and in our mobiles, if we want to charge it within some in very short time, and we want that its battery will last after a long time, clear? So it's our tendency, a natural tendency. So it means that want to get the charging rapidly, but we don't want to mm, for the battery to last it rapidly. So for that reason, obviously the circuit, the elements that contained in our mobile circuitry, for that will contain such types of AC circuits in which the charging is rapid, but discharging is not rapid. So for that case, time constant helps us to determine it. We can easily calculate with when we put this value. And suppose if I am taking this time for 15 minutes, clear? So for 15 minutes, and for the fixed value of tau for this circuit, you can put the value here, and you can solve it for the charging, for the growth of current. And for the decay of current, this value is obtained for minus tau t. So only this value is obtained. So in the decay, you can also solve for the same value of t and tau, and after solving it, you can see that what is the percentage of charging and what is the percentage of discharging in the same time, 15 minutes. What is the percentage? Suppose that if for any mobile, if the percentage of charging is 70%, and in the same time 15 minutes the percentage of discharging is 20%, okay? So such types of circuits are very useful for us. In 15 minutes, if charging can be by 70% and discharging is only 20%, then it means that in within a short time, mobile can be charged very rapidly, but after means it will last after a long time. So that's why, in the same sense, with the help of time constant, we can determine these types of factors, and we can use it on our daily life circuitry. So I think the process of and this is clear. And also, as in the circuit we had the values that for discharging I have just taken. So here the negative exponential, that's why. And for this circuit, you can see that if the value of relaxation time, that is your time constant, that is low, then for that case this value will be obviously high. So for the high value of inductor, and means there will be the high value of growth. Obviously if this value is low, then is this exponential value minus will be low, and in opposite side this will be the greater value because it's in minus sign. So that's why you can say that for small time constant for LR circuit, the growth in growth of current in the circuit, that is greater. So with the help of the knowledge of it, we can also determine it whether the growth will be greater or the growth will be lower in the case, and that depends on the time constant. So if time constant will be greater, then obviously this growth will be less. So that's why growth or decay, both factors you can calculate. Here the equation for decay. So growth or decay, that can be easily obtained by it. Means with the, if you are designing any circuit with the help of inductor and resistor, and for that case you have calculated the relaxation time. so time constant. And already if you are designing the circuit, then value of inductor and resistor, that will be fixed. We are using the fixed value of it. So for that case, obviously there will be the fixed value of this time constant. Clear? So if value of time constant that is fixed, then it's very obvious that the time constant that can be lower or greater. So if time constant is obtained very high, then for that case the charging or process that will be very slow. So that type of things that is not useful. But yeah, discharging will be also slow. So you can use it in certain places. And if the value of time constant that is very low, then obviously the growth of current that or current that will be very rapid, very fast. So we can use you accordingly our desires, then where we want to use it. So I think the growth and decay of current through the inductor, that is clear to you. What is the clearance and what is the importance of time constraint to understand growth and decay, and to design the circuit to apply in our daily life, in to apply the application circuitry and ICs where we are using a number of circuits. So in that sense, this is very important factor that tells us that which of the inductor can be used here and which of the inductor cannot be used here. Clear? So I think the importance of time constant and simple, I think as a surface example or a surface knowledge of LR circuit, that is clear to you. So if this question is clear, then let's see some next question. So next question is also related to the same, that is for RC circuit. So question is that what is the significance of time constant for RC circuit? So as in case of LR circuit, there is growth and decay of current. In case of RC circuit, there is discharging and charging process that is occur. Means there is the storage of charge or growth of charges and the decay of charges here. So in that case, we use a capacitor that is connected to resistor, and for charging this capacitor we attach a battery through it. Clear? Now if we supply the potential from here, then obviously there will a current that will be flow this circuit, or you can say that a charge that will flow through this circuit. So this charge or current will be used here. It means if continually we will increase this value, this potential, then obviously the storage, these charges will be stored at this capacitor. Means value of storage of charges will increase, and after certain time that storage will become constant, and that is known as saturation charges that here, or saturation value of charging. And after that, if you remove the battery, means when the capacitor is fully charged, then you can remove the battery, and now you can use that capacitor at certain in certain circuit. And when it start to discharge, then obviously it will deliver some charges, and with the help of that charges, the circuitry can be run or other applications can be used. So this is the same way like we have studied in case of LR circuit, only the difference is here the storage of charges means here the charging and discharging that is occur, there the growth and decay of current is occur. So you can also calculate what will be the value of storage of charges in this case. So like Q is equal something, we can obtain the equation for here also for the charging, for the discharging, with the help of this circuit. Clear? And in that case we will again obtain some value of tau, and that is equal to, in this case, equal to RC. So again, what is the physical significance of time constant? I think this value is now still clear. How can we calculate it? I think here I am not going to discuss that. We have already discussed in the topics where we were studying it. So that's why only the physical significance of this time constant I am going to clear that. So suppose in circuit, as you know that, so what is the value of time constant, then with the help of time constant, and suppose that again I am going to give you the time 15 minutes. So in that 15 minutes you can calculate what is the storage of charge on this capacitor, means, or means charging of the capacitor, and at the same for the same time 15 minutes what will be the discharging of the capacitor. So suppose that again, if for this capacitor, charging is 20% and discharging is 80%. So in 15 minutes, as you are seeing that your capacitor is charging only by 20 minutes, but in 15 minutes it will discharge by 80%. So obviously this type of circuit is not useful for us, means charging time is greater than the discharging time. So this, in this case, we say that our battery is now dead, we cannot use this battery. Like in daily life we say that our battery is discharging very rapidly. So in that case, this is the problem that is arises there. The charging, means the battery will take long time for charging, but it discharges very rapidly. So for this, means we don't like this types of situation. So to prevent it, we select R and C in such a manner so that the value of this time constant will be greater here. So if this value will be greater, then charging of the capacitor, that will be greater. So if in this, in the case of LR circuit, it will be, it must be smaller, but in case of means for the growth of current, but in case of RC circuit, it's for the charging process it must be greater. So don't be confused from these two factors. You can understand easily by the formula of time constant for both of the things, and I have just explained you that things also. So here, if we, there will be increase in time constant, then obviously charging will increase, and if charging will increase, then it means that our capacitor will charge within some time very rapidly. And if you see the case of discharging, then means we have to manage the value of R and C in such a manner that time constant is suitable for the circuit, and for that suitable time constant we can obtain charging and discharging using our means as our well. So I think that's now clear that what is the importance of charging and discharging. Actually it is a key factor. With the help of that we can design the circuit first. Actually for designing the circuit, this is the primary knowledge. Like for any research, you collect the data and after that you summarize it, you analyze that, and then you start something searching about that. So that this is the same factor. Before designing the circuit, we are trying to know what can be its usage, and which to which extent we can use it. So that type of things can be useful here. With the help of the knowledge of time constant, means what is the percentage of charging from it, what is the percentage of discharging from it in the same time, like within 5 minutes, to which percentage it can be charged and which percentage it can be discharged. So with the help of that, where we can use it. So after thinking such types of thing, we design the circuit. So and we use it in at different places. So I think guys, the basic things that is from the alternating circuit we can understand it, because in our daily life our all applications are based on this. So and here you have studied whatever that is the basic, that is the raw factor for every designs of the circuits. So I think there is no confusion regarding to all these questions and all these topics which I have discussed you here. So the next problem is that is related to also our AC and DC conditions. So like you have studied about DC currents. I have just explained you what is the case of AC and DC both. So here the questions for that, can we use 15 cycle per second AC for lighting purpose. So like in our shows we are using the fixed value of voltage for our daily life electrical devices. So in that case, if we are using the AC that has the frequency 50 cycle per second, then we use it for the lighting purpose or not. So actually for lighting purpose we have to use such types of frequency. For that we cannot distinguish the positive and negative half cycle. Means as you see that lighting that is appear continuous for us, we cannot see its uh, rapid change for the positive negative half cycles. Like for negative half cycles, as you know that it is not conducting, but still due to our persistence of vision we cannot see that, and that's why it appears as constant for us. So for 15 cycle per second also fluctuation of current that is very rapid, that is nearly 30 times per second. So you cannot see such types of counting in your daily life because of your persistence of your vision. We cannot see it 30 times per second change, we cannot measure it with our eyes. So that's why for our eyes it looks like a continuous lighting source. So yes, we can use it. If that is continuous for us, then and the glow is continuous, then we can use it for the lighting purpose in our daily life. Clear? So such types of frequency for you can use it for our daily life. So in the same manner, actually we choose the frequency for our uh, lighting purpose or for in our daily life, and the light we have choose to for like we are using 220 volt, and we are using 50 hertz frequency, 60, whatever we are using. And for that frequency our persistence of vision is very low. Means we cannot observe the positive negative, the changes fluctuation in the currents, we cannot observe that due to positive negative half cycle. So that's why for us lighting is continuous, and we are using our all of the electronic devices or electrical devices that is totally smooth for us. We cannot feel it, we cannot see it. So that's why that for us that is the continuous sources. So that frequency is suitable for us, for our eyes, for our daily life. So we can use such types of frequency. So before choosing it we always see that whether it is below our persistence of vision or it is greater our persistence. So generally it should be greater than the our persistence of vision. Clear? Next question is that the AC and DC both can be measured by hot wire instrument. Why? Actually from there is an instrument, hot wire instrument. With the help of it we can easily measure AC and DC both. Reason is that heat is directly proportional to the square of current. So that's why and you know that when in any circuit AC and DC flows, then it produces heat also. You have seen it in your daily life also. Due to the flow of AC and DC, which there is flow of heat, and if there is the production of heat, and that heat is directly proportional to the square of current. So with the help of hot wire instrument we can easily measure it with the help of that heat measurement. Clear? I think so. These types of instruments can also be applicable for us, and actually always we try to keep the heat production low, so that our devices are mostly that is working on the voltage phenomena. The current that is coming in your house that is very low due to the, so that there can be the less production of heat there. So that's why all these things here I have already told you that this chapter you are studying the basic, this is the fundamental, this is the raw material for the designing of circuits. Here you are learning that if there is change in this property, then what can be the effect, and that can be effect at the affect the circuits at the great scale. Means after designing of all these things we are getting we are any mobile, any circuit, electronic device, and in every devices we are using a number of application of electrical circuits. So here you are studying that, so study them very well, try to understand every factor, every small knowledge, every basic knowledge that can impact your design of the circuit. So that's why here you have to understand that if there will be change, then what can be the effect due to that. So I think guys, all these things which I have discussed today, that is all clear to you, to all of you. So if all the things that are clear, then for today let's end the class here. In next classes we will see next conceptual problems and basic knowledge about alternating currents again. Okay, so for today let's end it here. Thank you.